Hey, this is Ricky Kinley Cichlids. If you want to check out a video with a lot of colorful Frontosas, you can check this one out. This video is about moving the smaller Frontosas to improve the growth rate. It's good information to have, and it's just really enjoyable to watch because you can see some colors pop off these Frontosas you didn't think was possible. And they'll improve with time, and I'll get into that in this video. So look this way and check it out. So in this video we're learning how to separate Frontosas for faster growth. And this aquarium, it's Marty Minnie Frontosa colony. There's actually too many Frontosas in here. You'll see quite a few Frontosas around his cave. Let me pan around and show you all the Frontosas. Now, there may be a few Frontosas, well actually there are several Frontosas in here that you don't even see in the video because they're hiding. There are some hiding spots in this aquarium. So I'll be taking out the smaller ones and moving them to another aquarium so they'll grow faster. Also, I think it will help out breeding prospects of Herman, because since Herman has been in this aquarium with other Frontosas, multiple Frontosas, he is not bred with any since then. They're a pair, which Annie right now is in the cave that you see at the bottom of the screen. But since there's been multiple Frontosas in here, they haven't bred, so I'm going to take some out and hopefully that will rectify that situation. So for the rest of the video I'm going to concentrate on the aquarium that I'm moving the Frontosas to. Just a quick update on this aquarium. Since the past videos on it, I've added another sponge filter, and then in the back here I have a sponge filter back here buried behind some slate and this cave here what I have for Herman. And also I've got a brand new Abel Jaeger Eheim heater in here, and there was a little bit of a time where the heater in the aquarium went down, so I was able to get a new heater, and everything's going in here pretty good. So let's switch to the other aquarium. I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to show you the fish that I selected to put in there. Now here's some footage of just right after I moved the Frontosas into this new aquarium. There's 10 of them. So that's 10 that's been moved from Marty Minnie Frontosa colony, and I'll be moving more in the future. I'll give it a little bit of time to let these Frontosas settle out, and we'll continue the video. So the Frontosas are beginning to relax. They haven't worked out their territories yet. It'll probably be a few days before that happens. But they're looking good. So what I've done here by transferring the smaller ones from Herman's colony to this aquarium is I'm allowing these smaller ones to grow faster. When they're separate from bigger fish, they'll grow faster, they'll eat more food. They'll feel like they're safer, and they'll just expand their territories. They'll explore more, they'll come out more, be more active. As you see here, they're really swimming around, where in the aquarium with the larger Frontosas that they were competing with, they may stay hidden a lot of the times. Of course, they did come out and eat pretty good. They weren't really too scared, but they were a little intimidated by the bigger fish. My plans for these are I'm going to grow them all up. I'm going to keep them as much as possible. Keep every one of these in here. And then if there's extra males, I'll possibly sell those off. But this is going to be a breeding group in the future. And I'm going to have another one that comes from Herman's Frontosa colony to another aquarium within the next few days to a week. Now these fish are actually from Marty and Minnie. They were just being raised in Herman's aquarium. So these actually have some really good blues once they start to relax, and you can see the good blues now, but once they really get adjusted to this aquarium, they'll just explode with blue coloration, and you get to see how great they'll look. Now I've done some major changes throughout my breeding establishment, and I no longer, except for one aquarium, do I have a canister filter on. I'm now using mostly sponge filters, and then occasionally there's a couple of them that also has a fluidized bed filter on it. In this aquarium I only have the sponge filter, and I have it in the corner. This aquarium will be readjusted in the future, because it's going to be more of a permanent establishment where these will be raised up to be bred in the future. So I'll be doing more for it for the aesthetics. In the past I just basically did things for breeding and didn't do anything with how it looks. I like this big rock over to the right. Got it recently. I didn't pay for it. I was able to get it out of an area that I was able to get for free. And I'm going to change things around if I don't like this. Right now it's looking pretty good. They're reacting pretty good. I'm not the best person for scaping, so I'll probably have to play around with this to make it look perfect. Kind of have a generic background in the back. It's black background. I'm going to let the algae build up on the back of the glass. I've got to where I've not really wanted to clean the back of the glasses of my aquariums, so I'm coming up with different measurements and different things to use for the back, whether it be just to let the algae grow, which is in most cases what I'm going to do. In some cases I'm doing other methods. So the substrate here is sand, of course. The feeding I'm going to be using on these Frontosas will be a color pellet. It'll be a color floating pellet, which is good that I'm using a sponge filter in this aquarium, because the pellets won't be getting sucked up into the filtration system. And look how they're just swimming around, and there's a lot of activity. Now when they get their territories all worked out, hopefully they'll still have this type of activity ongoing. They've only been in this aquarium for about an hour, but there's a lot of activity, which I like. A lot of activity from the Frontosas. I expect like I say, a big color pop in a few days from these. But the biggest thing about this is that they'll be growing faster in this aquarium than if they stayed in with multiple other Frontosas in Herman's aquarium. So I'm expanding the growth rate. I'm following my own advice. It's something I do in my breeding with other fish, the peacocks, the mabuna. You take out the smaller ones from the larger ones and put them in another aquarium, and they'll grow faster. So I thought after some time that I was going to do this. It took a few months to get things worked out, but now it's changed. I'm excited about it. These are Frontosas I'm wanting to definitely grow up and breed. Like I say, they come from Marty and Minnie, so they do have some great blue potential. So we'll be looking towards that. Now there's something that may surprise you about these fish, because they're not very big. The biggest one's about 2.5 to 3 inches long, maybe 3. I always a little bit off on my measurements, but probably about 2.5 inches long. They're not really big, but guess how old they are? They're about a year old. So in this aquarium they'll grow a lot faster and they'll be quicker to breed once they reach a good size. You can keep Frontosa or any cichlid in a smaller environment or with multiple fish, and they won't reach their full potential if you do that. So moving them to this aquarium is going to give them their full potential. A lot of times there's a growth spurt after moving a smaller fish that's been kind of nerfed in a way by having too many competitors around it. So these will explode in growth. I'm looking forward to that. The best thing I like about my videos is I get questions. I like to answer them in videos, or if I can, I just answer them in the comment section. But if you have any questions about these Frontosas or any Frontosas or any of the fish that I have, please ask in the comment section. If I can't answer it in a comment or just a reply, I will do my best to answer in a video, which is sometimes more exciting for both the viewer and me as well, because it gives me an opportunity to talk about some things I normally don't. This what I've done here has not been something I just decided on one day to do. I've been thinking about it for months. There was from other Frontosas in this aquarium. This used to be Junior's aquarium. Those I've sold recently and allowed me to move these Frontosas into this aquarium. So a lot of my plans, I have to think about it long term. It's not something I just think about one day and do it the same day or the next day. A lot of my plans are long term. So eventually I'm going to have bigger aquariums in the future. May not be 6 months from now, may not be a year from now, but in the future I'll have multiple colonies of Frontosas and other fish. So these fish here, even though this is not a huge aquarium, will eventually get a bigger home and they'll be breeding for me. So thanks for watching the Ricky Kennerly Cichlids. Remember to give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and look around the video and we'll check out other videos from Ricky Kennerly Cichlids.